Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the season here. You're in your first year as a head coach for the Oakley Plainsmen. Who was your mentor? Who have you learned the coaching from, and when did you become interested in it?
There's several, if I get to talk about them a bit here. It all started probably with my mom. My mom's been a coach for a number of years, Peggy Cox. And I remember running around her practices as an elementary student and watching. And something I've always admired and benefited from was that she always gave honest and straightforward feedback. And it may not be what you always wanted to hear, but it was what you needed to hear. And I think she shows a lot of patience and as a result has built some really strong relationships with her players. And more recently, I coached with Carrie Jones for 2 years at Colby Community College, and she is a wealth of information. Something I admire about her is that she is not only a go-getter, but she is a lifelong learner. And so with her, I got to travel to coaching clinics and like ABCA volleyball conferences, and learned a ton there, and it got to explore all that and try that with her teams, and that was a lot of fun. And so that was where I really came into coaching, was working with her. But there's been more along the way. I played under Susie Fritz. At K-State, I coached with a guy named Justin Blake for Arizona Sky Volleyball Club, and he did a lot to push me out of my comfort zone and get me involved with my teams there. And then that's not even including the other exceptional people along the way that
Sure.
Not volleyball coaches, but there's been a number throughout my years with sports. So,
Well, here you are preparing for another season in volleyball, the high school ranks. As a first-year coach, as you look at this team, how many kids do you have out, and where does the leadership come from?
we'll have anywhere between 25 and 30, I think. We haven't had our first practice yet, so I guess we'll see who shows up. But expecting maybe around 27. And I have 2 assistants working with me, Whitney Dennis and Laura Dennis, and they are both fantastic women, so I'm excited to have them on board. And we have 3 seniors. They, so I expect a lot out of them for leadership. With a coaching change, there's always some new policies or new procedures, new ways of doing things, and I think they've handled that with grace and done really well. And we went to Kearney for our summer camp this year, and I was really excited to see them step up and take on some new responsibilities. And also, we have a really strong junior class, and that kind of led the charge this summer when it came to weights. And so I'm hoping that their drive and commitment carries over into this fall, and I think they could really impact our culture and what we want to do in this gym. So,
Do you have any 1 or 2 players that stand out as leaders on this team?
we have setters that have quite a bit of experience: Sue Corbett and Jamie Berkran. Kylie Park is one of our senior outsides. She may get to play some middle. We'll see how our lineup shakes up. And we've got some strong defensive players. Danae Larshus has played a couple years as a lead, and so.
Okay. You're in the MCL, the Mid-Continent League. Your old school is in that league. You're going to end up playing Norton. What will that be like?
We're going to go out and try to compete. I've actually got some relatives still in Norton. Hadley Hauser just graduated, and Tessa Hauser is my other, her younger sister and my cousin. And so, yeah, it's always fun to go back and to play against them. But they've definitely got some height and some talent up there. And so
It'll be kind of fun to go against them, won't it?
Oh, of course, always. We're a very competitive family, and so it's always a competition when we get together. So it'll be fun to just kind of razz them.
All right. Well, listen, Coach, good luck to you here in your first year in Oakley with the Plainsmen. You know that OpenSpaces Sports will follow you throughout the entire season. Wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you. We appreciate the coverage and all your support. So.
All right. Chelsea Funk visiting with us, the head coach of the Oakley Plainsmen on OpenSpacesSports.com.